What's going on, guys? God bless you. Carlos here with Serranos Mobile Detail in Dallas, Texas. We are in the hood today. We are in Buckner. Nice. That sounded horrible. What's going on, guys? God bless you. Carlos here with Serranos Mobile Detail in Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. Today, guys, we are working strictly on the exterior of this vehicle. I'm assuming there was a breakup from what I understood, and the ex-boyfriend keyed the customer's car. So on today's video, guys, we are trying to repair the damage. How good would it look? There is no promises. All I can do is try my very best to hopefully put a smile to this lady's face. So let's get started with this project because it's hot. So tip number one, guys, whenever you are working with a vehicle with scratches, right? This is an older model vehicle, so it is very crucial for you to have your paint gauge. And what you want to do is go right by that scratch and see what we are reading. In this vehicle right now, we are reading, I don't even know if you guys could see it, but we're reading 4.5 mils. And all I'm doing is going through each scratch. 4.44, 4.13, 4.17. So we're in the fours. So that's going to give me a better idea of what I can do for this vehicle, right? We've already gone ahead and did a test area for the customer and pretty much explained to her what I can do, what I can't do. Is it gonna look good, right? I've already gone ahead and done all of that, right? And we've given her two options. Option number one was I can just polish this paint and call it a day, right? And I showed her an area of how it would look. Or option number two is I can wet sand these scratches and hopefully blend it in a little bit better. Now these scratches are pretty, they're deep, right? Are they gonna be removed all the way? Not at all, because the person who did this definitely knew what he was doing, which is gonna make it harder for anybody to repair this scratch, right? The only way to truly repair this is a body shop, right? And the customer just doesn't want to have to deal with that right now, right? Because one, it's time. It takes away time from you. So option number one was it included a wash, and then I said I'll polish these scratches off as best as I can, and for that one it pretty much ran $200. Or option two is if we wet sand, which I wet sanded an area and then I kind of showed her a little bit on how it could look, right? And I said, but again, nothing is guaranteed because of the pattern, because of how they did the scratches, right? Nothing is guaranteed other than I know the wet sanding, what I'm doing is kind of blending that feel, right, and blending it in back into the paint. So what that's gonna do is once you start polishing the paint, right, I always feel like it just blends better to where to your eye, like to my eyes, I'll be able to see the scratch, but when the customer sees it, they literally see a drastic change right off the bat, right? So we started with 800 grit. That's what I feel was best to really remove that feel of the scratch, right? We're now at 1,000 grit, and I did 800 around the whole vehicle, and then I'm now going back with 1,000, and then we're gonna go to 2,000, and then we'll finish off with 3,000 for the blending stage to get this scratch looking a whole lot better. And then we're gonna cut and polish, and then we'll wash the vehicle. So I'm excited yet nervous. All right, we've gone ahead and we've sanded everything. I just finished washing it, so this is how the vehicle looks after you wash it. You can see obviously the sanding marks. This side here is where this is the deepest right here. You ever heard that song that goes, the first cut is the deepest? Baby, I know the first cut is the deepest. So that's kind of what he did here, was gave him that first cut all the way through. So then we have the back side sanded down, and then this whole side over here. Do I like the way this came out? Not really, but I'm also happy that majority of like the scratches look better. But also don't overcomplicate yourself at times. Like, to your eyes this probably doesn't look good, right? But when the customer sees it, they're like, wow, this looks amazing, and you're like, whoa, you know. So even though that to my eyes this looks horrible, probably to the customer's eyes, you've made a miracle. You beat me. I was just kind of giving it the last touches.
Oh my gosh, it looks like they did it when I bought it. Oh, those look much better.
How's it look?
Yeah, much better. You are just who I was looking for.
The other side is really the... Did you see this side right here? Look.
Yeah, no, I know it's gonna work. It's still better than it was.
Yeah, so depending on how you see it, you might not even see it, to be honest.
Cool.
The next thing I was thinking is maybe find the color matching in liquid form, like in paint form.
Yeah.
And I'd love to try something else. I won't charge you for that.
Oh, where would I go to look for?
Maybe go to like the dealership and see if they have or like English color, and just say, hey, I'm trying to find the color to match the paint.
Oh, okay.
And hopefully it comes in like a liquid form.
Sure.
Because I have a gun that I feel like might work for this.
Okay. Would AutoZone carry it? I don't know.
I don't think
cars.
so. I would try the dealership.
Okay.
And see, hey, what's the color, what's the code to this paint?
Sure.
And they'll tell you, right? And maybe you can go online or something and put that code in. And then if it comes in a liquid form, I'll be able to put it into, I have a airbrush kit.
Okay.
And I feel like that might work because it's so fine.
Okay.
So just kind of throwing ideas.
Right.
Obviously, I won't charge you for that.
Yeah.
Because this will be like my first time playing with that. But if you don't mind,
I don't mind.
maybe I can kind of come and see how it would look, and maybe it looks a whole lot better. To where, like, this is good.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like I would really want that gone.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So if it's okay for you, then you leave it as is. If you're like, hey, you know what? Maybe down the road you're like, let's try that method. Then you have my word that I'm gonna come and do it.
Okay.
Okay. But I think it turned out really, really well.
I do too.
Yeah. So I was just about to
great.
put the tire dressing.
All right.
And then I mean it was pretty much.
Well, let me go get my money and I'll be back.
Thank you. I was trying to see if I see like a water hose connection to go get water out there. Just a little bit to drink some water. I don't know if you guys have like, do you have a water fountain? I said I'll give you my Stanley.
That's fine. Okay, I'll bring you right back.
Thank you.
You want ice?
No. All right. She liked it.
looks so pretty.
Thank you. Now it's good for the weekend.
I know.
Right on time.
It is. Wow. Yeah, I was afraid of washing off what you massaged in.
Yeah. No, you should be good. The doors, they got polished. So what I kind of did is I ended up just kind of giving the whole car a quick polish too, so it'll look kind of even and glossy for you. So you should be good. How'd you hear of me?
Nancy Rogers. Someone gave you her name. I mean, gave your name to her.
Nancy Rogers.
Her grandson had trashed the inside of her car, so she was calling to see if you could clean it up for her.
Oh, okay.
But you were a little out of her price range.
Oh, is it Miss Kelly?
Kelly probably gave it to Nancy.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
You've done her daughter-in-law.
Yes, I do her trucks. Yes. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder how she heard of me.
Yeah.
But thank you again. Thank you for the opportunity.
It was just what I was looking for. I just didn't want to go to a body shop going, really?
Yeah, the body shop would have probably charged a good amount, but obviously they were gonna paint that.
Sure.
Paint the whole door. Yeah.
Right.
But sometimes it's better. So what I'll do is send this card. I'll send you an invoice to your text text.
Okay.
That way you can input all the information through there, and I don't keep anything.
Right.
Everything is protected through there.
Okay.
That way you don't have to worry about.
$500.
I'm sorry.
Can you make it an even $500?
Yes. Yeah, I'll do that. Or I'll probably just do like $450 because it adds like the fee to there. So that way it'll end up kind of around like plus tax. That way, because if I do $5, I'm sure it's going to charge you more on that. So I'd rather not do that. I try to be right where you want to be at. So,
thank you.
So I'll send you the invoice through text, and then you can just take care of everything on there. Let me see.
I'll do that tonight, probably around 9.
Okay, perfect. Well, there you go.
Carlos,
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
There's only one way to preserve it, and that is just don't go back to that guy.
Oh, he's gone. That's why I let it set for so long.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I would have gotten it fixed, he'd have done it again. So
you're like, oh, you got it fixed. All right.
He's gone in another state. So
there you go.
Better. Yes.
Hopefully that'll be better for you.
Yes.
Better for the mental state of mind.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, I hope you have a great day again. Thank you. I'll follow up with you maybe in like a week or two just to see how everything looks.
Okay.
And if at that point you're like, can we give it another shot or something, then don't worry. I'll come take a look at it, see if we can do anything better to it. But I feel like at this point we kind of are to where we would want to stay without deteriorating the clear. All right?
Sounds great.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Alrighty guys, that concludes today's video on this scratch removal, right? We ended up wet sanding, so we went from 800 grit, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Then we cut and polished the door, right? The reason I went this slow on the grit, and it's always very light, right? Some may say, well, you went very deep, but no. When you do it real light, you won't damage anything, right? And you want to keep it in short strokes, right? Some people tend to tape where the scratch is, right? And they just kind of concentrate on that. For me, I just kind of eyeball it when I'm sanding and just keep it very minimal, right? Without going over the area. And then I came back with Coach Kemi H9 with a Lake Country wool pad. And then we used... I did the panel prep, and then we did Coach Kemi F6 P601. I'm sorry, with this their all-in-one with the sealant with a Rupes yellow foam, and that was to pretty much finish blend in the previous step and just give it that nice gloss, right? But overall, this thing turned out really, really well. Again, you kind of saw where there's some areas that I wasn't too happy with because of how deep that scratch was, right? Obviously, I kind of knew where the gentleman started with the scratch and where he ended, right? So he started from the driver's side, and then he went around the car and scratched pretty much like the whole doors, right? Thankfully, the passenger side, I was able to blend in really, really well. Obviously, there was an area where it was pretty deep. I couldn't get that. But the overall appearance, to me, at some point, I was like, I don't know about this. I don't look like, I don't like the way it looks, but there's nothing I can do, right? To where the customer came out and she was like, wow, like this looks a whole lot better, right? So always remember, your detailing eyes are different to a customer's eyes. Our eyes are very detailed focused. Our eyes know exactly, like, when we don't like something, it doesn't look right, right? But then here comes the customer. Their eyes are different than ours, and they see it and they're like, whoa, this looks a whole lot better. Thank you so much. They're happy to pay, right? So don't beat yourself up in the head by going over that scratch over and over and over and over, because what you're going to end up doing is burning the clear, right? So always just do your very best and keep going. Don't stress yourself out just because it's not looking the way you like it, right? Unfortunately, there's factors into this. It could be the paint is very thin, you're not able to wet sand, or you can't polish as deep as you thought, right? There's always things and factors that play into this whole process of a scratch removal, right? So always learn it on a panel or something before you go out and do your customer's car. So as always, thank you so much for watching today's video. God bless you. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. And to my wife, if you are watching this, happy anniversary. 8 years next to you have been the best thing that have happened in my life. I love you so much. I love you with all my heart. Thank you so much for changing my life, and I am very grateful for you.